Welcome back to Two Homers and a Realist. The Sooners win 26-7 against the not so mighty Gamecocks. I was just thrilled, and I'm thrilled for the fact that obviously the coaching staff is listening to the pod. As we will go through everything today, they are following all of our instructions, and I, for one, am happy. I'm Steve.
I'm Connor.
Lucas.
Jay.
So, guys, before we get started, let's just send a big thank you to Tobacco Exchange, our wonderful post-game sponsor. 3 great locations throughout the metro area: Edmond, Oklahoma City, and very importantly, more. What are we smoking tonight? And tell us about a special.
Tonight we've got a Hoya de Monterey, Shade, Connecticut, I would say. And they're doing a buy 2, get 1 free, I believe, at the Moore location only. I really like Cuban Hoya de Montereys. This is not one, unfortunately. They couldn't hook us up with those over there.
This is good, though. It's light. It smokes well.
Yeah.
Definitely has a good draw on it.
Yep.
Nothing to complain about. Well, thank you to Tobacco Exchange. Well, I think we got to start by saying, wow, the run game appears to be coming together. I'm not going to say it's back. I'm not going to say that we're at any point where we want to be in terms of running the football. It is South Carolina, but they've got a good defense. They've got good defensive front, and we were able to effectively run the ball. We ran 2 touchdowns in, plus several runs on that drive. The official stats, we ran for 171 yards. We had a running back go over 100 yards, 101 yards for Blaylock. That's big time. 158 yards from all the running back crew. And that includes in, trash time, a -1 from Tatum. Good to see him getting out on the field. That's the first positive for sure. The fact that we hit the 2.5 over under on offensive touchdowns, that's a huge positive.
Huge. First time we've ever done it in the SEC.
Then we're going to talk about the D-line and everything else, but let me throw it to you guys. What do you guys think? What are the big takeaways about this big victory?
I mean, I like what you're saying. We're obviously joking, listening to the pod, the coaches and everything, but at the same time, what did we talk about the other day?
Joking. I think they're actually listening.
Okay, fair enough. The 1-2 punch with Blaylock and Robinson, it looked great today. And 2 very different running styles, but 2 guys who were getting downhill and picking up chunk yards. We're all looking at each other. We're all getting text messages from friends and people who are watching the game saying, what is this? Where has this been? Got an interesting text, and I agree with it. It was great to see, but also remarkably frustrating at the same time. I mean,
we had done it sooner.
Yeah, this is your 7th game, and you finally kind of figure out the rhythm there.
We did run left a lot with Fasusi over on that left tackle side.
You had EPL in there on the left side as well at guard.
Yeah. Shout out to Mike who called that.
Yeah, Mike
midweek.
called that. So overall, I was going back mentally through my inventory of games we played in the last 2 seasons. Largest margin of victory in an SEC game, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Bama would have been close, but I think
we're in the SEC. So
you're in the SEC.
So 24
to 13.
24-3 was Bama, I believe.
24-3.
Yeah.
Okay. So so
Real
Bama would have
close.
been the largest. So, but this felt like a more complete game than that, right? I mean, this one is at least for that one's satisfying because it was kind of a spoiler and it's at home and you don't expect to win that. This one felt like we were in control. And I told you guys when you're walking, we kind of beat their ass today. Nolan, you said it, the touchdown that was a touchdown for South Carolina shouldn't have been a touchdown. Should have been a hold as well as a false start on the same play, which would have backed them up and more than likely forced a field goal. So it felt like a complete game. Lucas, I know you guys will probably get into it with some of the material stuff, but I'm overall very satisfied. We needed that. I told Shelby, my wife, today, we needed that to be the case because it could have went all downhill if you lose that game today.
We needed that opening drive touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like momentum-wise, that was huge for us to kind of prove that we can do it because
we got a second
looked
20 on
so
that
bad last week on offense that being able to come out and take the first drive, go down the field, measured. It wasn't like you just had one giant play. It was, first down, over and over. And you were mixing in runs and short passing, which we talked about in the pod of maybe more of an air raid style. And it did look like to me that maybe the linemen were split a little bit wider than they had been.
I thought so
earlier, but maybe I'm just reading it because that's what I
Were you watching it from my living room or from the end zone?
Unfortunately, I was watching from your living room.
Right.
If I was in the end zone, I'd definitely been able to.
Well, you would have had a rangefinder and
text
they
you
would have
guys.
been
Right.
Rangefinders are right here.
Right.
So
Uh-huh.
we don't have to worry about that.
You could say it's far away.
So
Yeah.
I think the splits might have helped, and there was a couple angles that they showed, and Mateer had a little bit better passing lanes on those like 5 yard slant routes because the line was a little bit more spread apart. But where we had talked about, using the short passing game as our run game, we were still able to run, especially on the left side, and that I feel like those runs opened up the short passing game. Now we still can't throw the ball deep. Very concerning. We took one shot today, the third, like a 25, 30 yarder.
Yeah.
And I mean, Jay's
Yeah,
talked about
let's
this
explode.
shell defense that everybody's playing against us because you can't force the safeties to play deep when you're not testing them. And I don't know if it's because our receivers aren't fast enough to get by their guy and make the safety roll over. And
Titanium birds,
but-
100% are fast though.
well,
And today the
I'm sure they ran a
protection was
10 3
there.
100 in high school, so they're amazing. But they haven't. Nobody's proven it on this field this season that they can take a ball deep,
Wait, but
wide receiver wise.
Can you take?
so
both?
are you blaming the wide receivers or are you blaming the quarterback?
It's how will we know?
Okay.
I mean,
So you're split evenly.
we've seen him throw a couple deep balls and have not been good, and we haven't seen receivers when you're there watching the game or an all 22. It doesn't feel like we're letting them stretch the field either.
Well, in our defense, we're not gonna we couldn't see anybody running open or not open today because the camera work was so awful.
Oh,
that was-
Unbelievably bad.
Besides,
It was
the purple
horrendous.
camera angles. It was like
Cameraman was
they didn't know where the ball was like 10% of the time.
And never were lined up. Like usually you do your best to have a camera on the line of
Yeah.
scrimmage or the line to gain. Neither one. So that
There were times it was 20 yards
behind the play.
behind the play.
I mean, I'm sure South Carolina would have liked to have had a camera on that one fourth down
Yeah.
where they didn't give him the first down, which was hard to say. You couldn't
But
tell.
they did give it to him after the fact.
No, they did. Oh,
they
they
did.
did. That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Well,
Even
we would
though-
like to have it.
Even though they showed 4 different camera angles and none of them were conclusive.
None of them are.
overturned the
No
call
way you
on the
overturn
field.
that. Yeah. So let's get to refereeing in a minute. But yes, so there's something there. But I guess are you leaning towards Mateer can't throw it deep, which is my worry, or that the receivers aren't doing it? Because I think the receivers were running open against Texas.
I think it's the former. I think it's a Mateer thing.
I think it's a Mateer thing.
But I mean, I say that, and maybe today he had some better passes today, I guess. I mean, the touchdown pass is a great pass. I mean, that's in a window. You brought it up
Right
during the
where it
game.
needs to be.
There's a pump fake out to the left before he releases and throws to Satania on the sideline, and that's right between the safety and the corner. Like it was a very well
And
timed.
again, that's a setup that we've been talking about. We kept throwing the wide receiver screen with like 1 or 2 blockers over to the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
And we ran that, I don't know, 6 or 7 times, I feel like, leading up to the moment of the pump fake with the pass to Satania, when he went, I don't know, 10 yards past where the blocks would have been
Uh-huh.
and caught the pass and turned around and ran in the end zone with it. So we had complained about Arbuckle not setting up plays with other plays. And then on that one, it did work.
We did, yeah. So I lean towards we don't really know that Mateer is more of the issue with the deep ball, but it could also be a big contributor that could be the run game or the lack of run game. So maybe this game is what changes that, as now teams have an entire game of film to respect it. Jay, what are your thoughts on the game in general?
As you said, the run game is, even if it's just 4 or 5 yards, it's imperative for the success of the entire offense. It's not like we were gashing them for 8, 9, 10, 11 yards of carry, but it keeps them honest and it allows you to matriculate the ball down the field.
You're
And
trying to use these big words to show that he's not drunk.
Yeah.
that's not fair.
Don't use that incorrectly because that means to graduate from college. It doesn't mean to move through
Every day
something.
long.
But announcers do that mistake all the time, so I'll give you that.
Extrapolate on what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Also right.
It is wrong.
It is
To your-
not wrong.
To your point, though.
I'm extrapolating right now.
To your point.
Would you stop
I am
extrapolating?
mid extrapolating.
Extrapolate.
As we speak.
We're gonna get shadow banned if you keep extrapolating.
You bring up a good point, though. We weren't getting hit in the backfield like we've been used to getting hit in the backfield.
Just any
Yeah.
positive yardage whatsoever changes the next play.
Yeah, and first
And,
contact was down the field.
Yes.
And
So-
we had way better clean pockets for
But-
Mateer today.
Yeah.
Okay,
Much
so
better.
we're transitioning from Big 12 play to SEC play. And SEC play with NIL and transfer portal and everything else is more like NFL light. Okay? what used to be 8, 9, 10 yard gains that set up plays are now 3, 4, 5 yard gains that set up plays. And so any positive yardage changes what the next play call is. And we just have to get used to it as fans that you're not going to have. I mean, we didn't have an explosive offense today, right?
Right.
We didn't have 580 yards of offense, and we won by 3 scores, right? So we have to adjust how we think and feel about the way a game goes.
That's a great point.
Yeah, but we've also complained about 2nd and 2 doing stupid crap.
But we didn't do that
2nd
today.
and 4.
We didn't do stupid stuff in 2nd, 2.
You're
Because
right.
we could run the ball.
Yeah, because we could run the ball. It wasn't
Okay, that's fine.
jet sweep for a loss
That's
for 4 yards.
That's his point.
Yeah, your
on
your
2nd
point
and
stands. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just it's interesting. Like we all have to adjust.
Don't tell me what I have to do.
Yes, I'm telling you, what's a good win, what's a great win, or it doesn't matter. This type of win today in the SEC is a great win. Today was a blowout in SEC terms.
It really was.
This was a blowout football
because the game was in the early part of the third quarter. We took control,
Goals in hand.
and it was clear that unless we did something, we weren't going to relinquish control. And to be honest, we'll get to the refereeing in a second. If it wasn't for some refereeing that was very questionable
In the
At-
2nd quarter.
at
for sure.
best in the second quarter, we're probably putting that game away, or we have control of that game in the second quarter.
I know preseason rankings don't mean a whole lot, but this was a preseason top 10 football team. Now
they were 13.
they haven't, bared it out throughout the season, but
They're a good football team. with
they're a
talent.
good football team, and we absolutely dominated this football game.
Well, there's a lot of people who were saying Sellers was going into the season. Sellers was the best quarterback in the league,
Number 1 pick in the draft.
and it didn't show today. I mean, they're
Mhm.
which
Well, he
again,
hasn't been.
no, yeah, exactly. But I mean, we proved that out even more so. I mean, a lot of his stats are going to come from those busted sacks that we'll talk about. Like he's getting scrap yards on plays that he should have been sacked.
Which
10
is
yards behind
kudos
the
to him. He is great at
And-
evading,
Yeah.
pressure.
Mhm.
There's no question.
So it'll be interesting to see as he goes forward, especially in the NFL. Is it just a lack of all the tools around him, or is he just a real athletic guy who kind of is hitting his ceiling?
They
He's
did
hard
not
to
throw
tell.
down the field with him.
He
Today.
didn't.
He's
No,
the,
they didn't.
He's the type of player that you're like, oh, he's not going to make it, and then he's going to win, 30 games in a row in the NFL.
I mean, he could win. He could
He's-
win
Yes.
by sheer athleticism on a team that is well built and well constructed and doesn't rely on a quarterback. But I don't see it from a standpoint of a quarterback forward team that he's going to be the kind of guy that could be the leader.
Would you take him or Andrew Luck?
Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck.
He's going to have a better record than Andrew.
You mean Andrew Luck now or Andrew Luck in his prime?
In his prime.
A
I would
better
take-
record,
I would take
a
Andrew
better
Luck now,
record in the
so-
same number of games. played.
Sure.
I'll take that bet. How much will bet?
C note?
9 bottles of Jose Cuervo.
Nope. C note.
So one thing that was great today, and the only thing you can say is they didn't finish plays in some cases, was the defensive line. The defensive line started strong and ended fantastic, including at one point a sack by a 5th string dude.
Strong.
Yeah.
Marcus
So
That was a safety, wasn't it?
yeah, the safety.
Yeah, safety.
The safety. That's
he blew
right.
his guy.
I guess it wasn't a sack. It was because he handed that ball. It was a running back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a tackle for
So
a
just
team,
tackle
Which
for
is
for a safety.
honestly.
Yeah, it is.
Like-
To have that much penetration
Yeah.
that he can hand the ball off and he's going downhill, and all of a sudden you're right there.
A lot of penetration on this play.
I mean,
lot of
Jaden Jackson was living in the backfield,
Yeah.
and R. Mason Thomas
Line was in the back.
probably didn't have his best game, but he was still causing havoc.
Yeah.
And had one sack for sure.
Which given, I mean, we should say like South Carolina did fire their offensive line. It's
Yeah.
been that bad. I mean,
Yeah.
but
It's been
but
super bad,
regardless,
but
it's
we
an
made-
SEC offensive line.
Yeah.
And we're making plays.
And we did what
Did
you
you not see the interim offensive line coach hyping up the team on pregame?
didn't see
I
that.
saw him the
You see that?
entire game on the sideline because they kept showing him over
Yeah,
and over,
over and over and over.
That was the one camera view that I actually had. Was
Yeah.
was him
Oh,
on
I
the
thought that
sideline.
was
Yeah,
there. It was
they
flipping the-
they devoted a
that was-
camera to just
that
that
was
guy.
Absolutely.
So we lived up to all expectations and then some. And I'll tell you one thing we didn't do that was very good to see is we didn't over pursue. There were some missed tackles, but they weren't over pursuit and then he could get loose, where that's almost a design system by an offensive line coach. We definitely were in a position where we were always just moving backwards towards him. The few times he did escape, it was a great play by him. It was a great athletic play. And yet he didn't run for 60 yards in the touchdown. He did scramble for one crazy first down that obviously could have been stopped.
I mean,
He
we had
came,
dead to rights like 3 times.
Yeah.
that he made plays.
But that's what he does.
and that's
fine.
what he does exactly.
He leads the country in that.
So I'm going to give the defense
I don't think it's a real stat.
I'm going to
It
give
is
the
a real
defense an
stat.
A+, and I'm going to give the defensive line also an A+.
Who missed their gap on that long run in the first quarter?
McKenzie,
Was it
Yeah.
McKenzie's
Well-
gap?
Yeah.
he took a gap. I don't know if it was his gap,
Gotcha.
but
Yeah, he just butted
First
up
of all-
against 2 linemen where if he would have just hung back 2 yards and waited, the running back would have come right
Right
at
there.
him.
their starting running back was lined up at fullback. That should have been, flag number 1.
Mhm.
But it is what it is.
Well, I tell you who had a good game today
I didn't,
defensively was Oklahoma State.
Yep.
in
did.
the form of one player.
yep, they did.
Kendall Daniels.
Talk about Kendall Daniels. He was a monster.
Yeah.
Yep, he was.
He looked like he was where he needed to be all the time
Yeah.
and actually making the tackles.
He's tearing it up. It's
And
really good to see.
Dolby was
Out.
out,
Yeah.
which came out of nowhere
Yeah.
Yeah.
for this game.
Do we
How did-
know anything about the details there?
Oh, Dolby redshirted last year, didn't he? So he can't. Did he medical redshirt last year? And then can
I
he
think he
redshirt?
did get
Can
his
he
medical
redshirt this
redshirt.
year?
Probably medical last year.
Can
His
he
leg was
redshirt this
snapping
year?
in half.
I
Yeah, but I mean,
don't
you have to get it
think you
I don't think you can do both,
can.
right?
I just he
You
didn't
can
get
go
hurt.
the other way and get a medical hardship.
Yeah.
He
I
didn't
don't
get hurt
think
in
you
the
can.
last game, so it was during practice. So
Yeah.
whatever happened.
I just
happened.
don't know if he's ever been 100% since he's been.
Which is
back.
unfortunate because he's great.
He is great,
Brand
but if
called him the best
Daniels
player.
plays like that, I mean,
So the only person that
I mean, Reggie
wasn't
Powers is out there playing Cheetah a lot.
Reggie, and let's talk about the hit. That
That's-
beautiful,
yeah.
perfect hit. I don't mind, and we can transition from this into the officiating. I don't mind them throwing the flag on a play that was clearly questionable if
Yeah.
it was targeting. And I do applaud them for going to the review booth and saying, nope, that's a squared up, perfect tackle. Nothing wrong with it. Just a big hit. Pull the flag. That was great.
Yeah.
That was the only time in this entire game that they seemed to do that because everything else was a joke.
Yep.
Tell me about offsides.
False
False starts.
I
rather.
mean, that left tackle thought he was Lane Johnson out there, just jumping before the ball all the time. And on the touchdown that they had at the end of
you
the
had the
second
tackle
quarter,
and the guard who
you
basically
had
jumped
the
off
left
that one.
tackle taking a 2-step shuffle before the ball was snapped.
Yep.
And then you had the left guard, I think,
Mhm.
holding
Hit.
Kip Lewis as he's going after. He literally
Around
grabs
that's
his-
too taller.
grabbed
I mean,
the
I'm
guy,
screaming
on the front of his
during the
shirt.
play, not a replay during the play.
and he still almost makes the hit before Sellers gets rid of it.
Mhm.
So that would have changed the game because they would have had to kick a field goal because at that point it was what was that 4th and goal from the
Oh,
3
yeah.
or something like
From the
that
3,
after
yeah.
we had a great goal line stand at that point and after our pass interferences and had got him down there. But that was a 4th and goal
Yeah,
from
that
the
was it.
3
That was it.
and that should have dropped them back 10 yards and they definitely would have kicked.
No. I think that was 4th and 3.
That's what I said, 4th and 3.
So we would have had the ball.
Well, no, they would have thrown a flag.
No, because
Oh.
he got the touchdown.
Yeah.
They would have thrown the flag. It would have been 10 yards.
Oh,
hold-
I'm with you.
yeah.
I'm with
So
you. I'm
anyway,
with
I
you.
thought the same thing during
I'm
the
with
game.
It'd have been 4th
I'm
and
with
goal
you.
from the 13, and then they would have just kicked the field
I
goal.
thought you were saying if you didn't hold him.
Oh, we didn't hold him. He sacks him. Yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
But if
yes.
they call the false start, it's 4th and
Yes.
8. Or 4th and
Yes.
goal from the 8.
So
And
Or
then they
hold-
have to take the points.
stats
Yeah.
boy,
That's what
what
I'm
were
saying.
the final penalty stats?
So our penalties, we had 10 for 98, and they had 4 for 35.
And I
And they didn't
believe,
pick up their first penalty until the third quarter.
yeah, I believe they
That-
were the
that-
most penalized team in the SEC.
They are.
So I guess we're supposed to suppose that they got real disciplined over the week.
All of a sudden,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
They got a new offensive line coach. He said,
That's
guys,
true.
quit holding.
there can be variation, but all that's suspect. And then when we watch the game, it's
Yeah,
clear
go watch it. Yeah.
they missed
The
call
holdover
after
that-
call after call, and it
the
really
back-
was one
Keep
Keep blocking the
particular
backs on a
line
punt.
judge, one line judge
Yeah, another
who's
punt
really missing
return.
it.
Yeah, another punt return.
Yeah,
Keep
blocking the back.
Yep.
Now they missed one on us too. I'll be honest, they
did.
missed it. Bad officiating.
I don't think so, Steve.
I think so.
I don't think so.
That was the one. What else did
And
they
then the end of the
miss?
half,
Yeah,
what happened in that situation?
We got lucky. So the
We-
clock is running.
kind of sat on them.
Clock is running down. They
We-
need to get a first down or get out of bounds to stop the clock and kick a field goal.
Yep.
Throw it short of the 6. We tackle them. we were real lucky not to pick up a delay.
Almostigo kind of shoves him down with like,
Yeah.
We're
4
also kind of
seconds
holding
left.
the ball.
We shouldn't
Yeah.
do that. Like we should
well,
know
no, you
enough
gotta be smart about it.
to be slow.
Just kinda
Does not
play it there.
mean
Yeah.
you do all that
Yeah, it
stuff,
doesn't have to
guys.
be like
We got
But
real
they couldn't
lucky.
have, no, it wouldn't have mattered. They could, even if we didn't do the extracurriculars.
They weren't going to
Almostigo,
get it off.
They couldn't line up and spike the ball.
No, you're not
in
going to
3
rush
seconds.
out there with
Yeah.
4 seconds and
Yeah,
be able
no
to
chance.
swap out
Yeah.
and get a field goal.
And then Beamer's out on the field yelling, the rest kind of trying to placate him, like, hold up, I'm about to call. I thought they were going to call a defensive delay of game.
Uh-huh.
And then they ended up, walking around. OU's already run off the field. Beamer's like, come on back. We're about to play another play here or whatever. And then the ref goes over and he's like, sorry, dude, you weren't going to get the playoffs. So we're just going to let it.
That's not what he said.
Over.
I'm a professional lip reader.
Okay.
He said, we already gave you too many calls.
Yeah.
You only paid us for 10.
Yeah.
That would be 11.
Yeah.
We'll have to make it up in the second half.
Well, we only picked up, so we had 8 of our 10 penalties were picked up in the first half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had 2 penalties in the second half. And honestly, you look at that second half, just a clinic. I mean, them out. You shut them out. You go and score when you need to score. Freaking Sandell again today with a 55-yard bomb.
Awesome.
Like, just,
Awesome.
I mean,
And I'm not necessarily mad at the referees for calling the penalties on us because I don't remember a bunch of BS penalties on us, but missing at least 4 false starts
Critical.
on South Carolina.
On a
That one holding play
drive.
that we talked about on the touchdown, the block in the back on the punt. And I mean, I'm sure there's other ones that we could point out, but that's just off the top of my head.
that one.
So maybe those 8 were legit penalties on us, but they should have had in the first half alone should have had 4 or 5 penalties.
The
They
one
had
that I
0.
think of that wasn't as legit is that pass interference on that drive that they end up going down and scoring, where it's what is number 1's name? I always want to call him Hardy. Thank you. I also want to call him Baxter. I don't know why. Jarvis Baxter. Yeah. That didn't look like pass interference. If anything, it was defensive holding because he's making contact before the ball is thrown. And even then,
to 15 yards,
15 yards the other direction. Yeah. I don't think he gets enough of his jersey for it to even be holding, to be honest. That's the only one that I'm like, eh.
And one that irritates me is when Boganowski gets beat and he runs him down and grabs him. 100% defensive pass interference.
Right.
But they miss a huge holding call.
Exactly. That should offset.
The left tackle or left guard that would have offset that 15-yard gain. It should have been replay the down because we pass interfered 100%, but they also definitely held on that pass rush.
And to circle back to something we talked about earlier on Sellers, we pass interfere because the ball is so severely underthrown.
Yeah.
Which is just
way
not good. And there's no way if it was not as underthrown, he might intercept it, but it was so underthrown. The only thing he can do is run into the guy, but he did a good job with that for sure. So let's talk about special teams and the fact that we're doing great with field goals. The punting from Miller was very off again for the second game in a row.
Yeah, it is weird.
We have found our new punter in John Mateer. We'll talk about that in just a second.
No, but
his first 2 were bad. His last 2 were good.
Yeah.
I mean, as a punter, you would think
the one where he rugby styles it
you
doesn't
could
make
just
any
do it
sense.
every time.
Just do the same thing.
Well, I almost wonder if that wasn't going into this game part of the game plan on the rugby because South Carolina, I mean Beamer ball, they have blocks and punts this year.
Yeah.
So
and they tried to get after a couple
last
a day.
year. So I think that was part of this game plan,
right?
Was for him to take the snap and rugby punt because he was literally running to the right and kicking the nose of the football to get the roll,
right?
And I just don't think he's that type of punter.
No, exactly.
So I think they probably practiced it all week.
Yeah,
and he was serviceable at it. And then come game time, he just missed a couple times.
Yeah. That's a coaching mistake if you ask me. Just do your normal stuff.
Maybe he was good at it in practice this week. But I mean, it's like golf. Sometimes you got it, sometimes you don't. So,
but you can't always introduce a new thing. Sometimes just go with what's working.
I mean, that might be a part of his repertoire in practice, like throughout the season. It's just never called upon to do it.
Well, maybe.
But this game with such a good rush in special teams that you're like, we're definitely doing that. And after 2 times of being bad,
they
just
didn't
said,
do
well,
it anymore.
We're just going to do normal.
So maybe that's good. Okay, that's good. Good point.
Yeah, so maybe they made an adjustment at halftime.
Great point. Maybe they did a good adjustment. So that's good for the coaching staff. I thought the coaching overall was pretty good today. Talking about special teams and Beamer ball, so they tried to run a fake punt on us, and somebody in our audience was calling out we got a regular defense there. I think that was the realist who was realistic about the defense.
We got an entire first string defense out there.
How do they not see that and call it off? I mean, it's clear what we're doing.
Yeah.
And
What was that,
sure
like
enough,
fourth
we
and
get a
10, something
turnover.
like that, maybe?
Something about
Like,
that. Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. And sure
Great
enough, who
interception.
intercepts that?
Great job
Line?
pulling it down.
Line.
Yeah.
Defensive
And
end.
he
drops
saw it the
back.
whole way.
And it was kind of
I mean,
triple
he
covered.
sat on
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
Like, he just sat on it.
And he makes a
just
great
nailed
play.
it.
Which is actually a hard catch to make
Yeah.
when you're that guy.
Well, also, if you
And you're
bat it down.
close.
I mean, we saw Satania miss it. Satania is like his job is to catch balls, and he had one right in his perfect breadbasket, and he dropped
Missed
it,
Yeah.
and it was a critical third down. And this is a guy who,
He's a defensive end. He's
catching
catching
footballs is like, I don't know, job number 16 in
Yeah.
his list. And he did a perfect job,
Yep.
pulled it down, and did a great job of just going down with the ball and
Yeah.
realizing I'm not running for a touchdown. No need to take
Gave us
a
ball
risk.
midfield.
I'm happy with what I got.
And a great job by either Brent on making that call or the special teams coach
Yes.
saying, we know this is a punt safe, but it wasn't even your punt safe.
No, not just a punt
It was
safe.
literally your defense.
Just
is
run the
good out there.
defense. Yep.
You put Satania in the back, he's going to fair catch it if they get the punt off. Oh, but if it's a fake, we're ready for it.
So
They nailed it.
speaking of accolades for the team as well as the realist, talk me through the pooch punt and how much. And again, they're listening to the pod. We've been calling for the pooch punt for a long time.
Years.
Talk about it.
What was the situation? Was it like 4th and 5 or something like
Yeah.
that?
Good about that.
And about what we're at the 40.
Yeah.
It was probably
40, 45. No. It would have been a 60-yard field
Too
goal.
long for a field. Although it's
Nah.
5-yarder,
Yeah.
halfway up the net. So
No
that
reason
would've
to
been-
make
could've
that
been a
risk.
62-yarder,
But yeah,
right?
yeah.
But at this point, you're trying to salt away the game.
Yeah.
So there's no reason to miss the field goal
Yeah.
and give them the ball in
So we're
midfield.
about the 43.
So I said, because I think there was a timeout at that point. I
Yes.
said coming out of timeout, when I saw the
Mm.
offense go on, I said they're going to try to draw them off sides to get the cheap first down.
No, he just stayed out there. I don't think there was a timeout.
I think there was a timeout. I think they went to the sideline and we were debating. We didn't know if they were punting or not.
Was there a timeout?
Yeah. And I said, I'd like to see here us come out, try to draw them off sides for a cheap first down. And if not, I want to see a Mateer pooch punt inside the 15. I'm not going to try to be, too.
Don't get greedy.
Yeah, I'm not going to be greedy with it, trying to go, I hope he downs us inside the 5. I was like, if you get this inside the 15, that's better than sending your punter out there because he's kicked in the end zone a time or two. Hell, was it 2 weeks ago, maybe, or it was last week? He kicked one and it literally like landed on the 21. It was
Right.
like a 15-yard punt
Right.
or something.
You might as well go for it.
Yeah, you might as well go for it at that point. So I said, I'd like to see Mateer do the pooch punt. And sure enough, we're in shotgun. He claps a couple times. It'll jump off sides. He looks at the sideline, takes a step back. They snap it to him. He pooches it. Great punt. Gets down at the 1. Sets
Like
up
the one.
sets up the safety.
I thought it was going to be the 1-inch liner it went in. Like I
Yeah,
thought he
thought
put
it
too
went
much
in.
on it.
I was afraid that our gunner had gone down there and was
And gone
leaning-
over?
Yeah, I thought he'd gone, but he perfect body control.
Again, if the camera work was any good, we'd
Yeah.
have an angle, but
So
they
he kept
weren't.
it right on like the half-yard line or 1
So
line.
I just saw the SEC has already named him Special Teams Player of the Week.
John Mateer.
John Mateer.
Deserved.
Yeah,
It
so
was huge. I mean,
perfect.
that's
and a great call by me to be like-minded with the.
it was a
coaches.
great call by you. I think that's the whole point.
Yeah,
and
that was
purpose
the biggest part
of
of the whole
this.
thing.
Yeah,
So
well, I appreciate it.
back to Jay's point about be satisfied with the victories, the way they transpire, the little ones and the big ones, the actual margin of victory, because in the SEC it's different. That's the difference between winning and losing ball games, is executing on a play like that late in the game. It's critical. That's everything about the difference between winning and losing. Whereas now it's a different philosophy and it can also work, but in a Lincoln Riley offense, you're probably going for that 4th down, trying to pick it up. And
Well,
a lot of times
24
you're
to
getting
7,
it.
there's really no reason to even attempt that because if you don't get it, you're giving them the ball at your.
But if you
your
get it,
40 or
you can start to keep, you can't put the game away, but
Right.
you can make it that much more difficult. But the point is, in the SEC, that's the kind of thing you decide, okay, this is our option here. We're going to either try to draw them off sides, which is possible. Doesn't happen. Easy audible into the kick. We kick it. And again, if it's on the 15-yard line, they've got to go 85 yards to try and get a score, and they need 2
And they're
more.
still down by 10. Yeah.
Exactly. So
Now, is that our third safety of the season or just the second? No Auburn in this one. Did we not have one
Second,
against
Seth
Temple?
Mhm.
No.
Second safety.
is it the second safety? We had
Yes.
talked about this earlier, and
Yes, it was the second
Oh,
safety.
okay, I thought we had a
We-
third one against.
we were real
against
close.
Temple, maybe.
We were real close.
Okay.
So that was great. I'm going to call that a turnover,
Yeah.
which means we had 3 turnovers this game, which is great. We had a turnover deficit. We overcame that. Did not give the ball up today one time. I mean,
Mateer almost threw an interception on an
What?
amazing play.
Great.
yeah, it would have
Yeah,
taken
Really good.
amazing.
It was the right
catch.
throw.
Yeah.
It was the
was
right throw.
Not the perfect throw, but it was the right throw.
Yeah.
And
But it was-
a little bit higher. Like if you throw that at Burks's face and
Right.
not his waist,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's probably a first down.
so just off on the throw, but in a way that it would take an NFL level catch by the defense to
Yeah.
make that an interception.
He's diving back.
No other, I mean, aside from the Satania bobble, it's out of bounds. I mean, Robinson one time bobbled the ball, it seems like a little bit
That
on
may
a
have been more
handoff.
On the
Mateer.
touchdown.
May have been more
Yeah.
on Mateer.
The touchdown that he
Yeah, on the
Yeah.
touchdown. And that's it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
so,
think like play wise, you can't really criticize too much like of misses outside of those things you mentioned. The only thing, and Lucas, you brought it up in the post game. I'm just still like there's just throws that Mateer needs to make that he's not making. And there's plays that he needs to make that he's not making. We talked about it in the or during the game. It just looks like it's going a little fast. Like he looks
it
like when
still looks fast,
when
and the
he's
players
got-
still look fast to
Yeah.
him.
when he's got guys open and he's got guys kind of in the clear, he's rushing throws or he's throwing out of that like sidearm
Three-quarter,
slot where it's going where the ball is rising on the receivers. Like, hey man, just throw it overhand. And we saw it on a couple of those plays.
We've got
He's throwing
100
it
years of
overhand,
football to
And it's-
figure out
it
how to
looks
do this
good, but
thing.
Just do it because honestly, if you throw it overhand, you're not going to get as much whip on the ball anyways. Like you're going to
Right.
give a manageable pass. There were a couple passes, and I'm sure his receivers are like, damn, that thing's coming hard because
Mhm.
I mean the balls he throws are the velocity is very high. So I still just wish he would. I'm hoping he can get a little bit more mechanically sound as we keep going. Because I mean the Satania pass for the touchdown was great, air on the ball, great velocity on it. Like that was what you want to see in passes like that. I just want to see a little bit more finesse where he needs it.
I would like to see him see what's happening just a half second sooner. I feel like he's having to throw the ball fast and hard because he's throwing it a half second too
Yeah.
late.
Exactly.
We had the little swing pass to Robinson there in the fourth quarter,
Uh-huh.
and you were like, oh, he just threw that way too high. But when you watch the replay, the defender, I think it was the end, came in and it jumped up, and he had to lob it over him.
Right.
And
Who
then-
then does a roughing the passer.
Yeah, and then it was a good catch. I think
Yeah.
it was Robinson, right?
Is it Blaylock? I think it was Blaylock.
I feel like it was Robinson.
For which-
The one where he
for-
lobbed it over the defender.
It was Blaylock.
It was Blaylock.
Because it was the one where we were like, Blaylock, put your freaking shoulder down and get to the
Right,
sticks.
right.
Yeah.
Like it was
But
right.
it was
even
bad.
though that's not, the perfect pass, but he got the job done. He didn't try to
got the job
sidearm
done.
it.
You got the
That
job done.
little
Yeah.
lob over was nice to see.
It was nice to see. So, give Mateer a grade. I'm probably gonna
Give him a
say
B.
B plus, probably from me.
I would say B to B minus for me, just because I
Yeah.
think there's just I just want I mean he did a great job of managing and taking what was in front of him where he could. The deep game or the down the field hitting guys in stride game it's a little lacking still.
Mhm.
I want to see that, but overall, I mean, again, he doesn't turn the ball over today.
He doesn't.
Huge. He didn't put a lot of balls at risk of getting.
No, he didn't throw any
intercepted.
quadruple coverage like
Right.
he did
And he
against
took
Texas.
So-
one bad sack.
Yeah, he took a bad sack
He
on
did.
third down.
Yeah, that was a
It's
bad
like
sack
that.
where he's got to feel the pressure.
I will say
You know
though,
what
he
he
looks a
needs to
lot
do.
I mean,
different.
it was Pasusi's fault for missing
Yeah.
the block.
And the guy
But-
up the middle.
But you got to know
Yeah.
it's there, and you got to get rid of it.
Yeah.
because he's out of the pocket at that point.
Right.
Right.
He was rolling to his right.
So
Right.
I mean, he just looks different running now though. Maybe it's
Mhm.
because we're playing teams that are better on the defensive front.
Mhm.
But I mean, even on some of those draw plays, it looks like the hesitation is a lot more apparent. And I don't know if it's his thumb or
Yeah.
Or what
No,
it
I
is,
think
Well,
it's
there was a
the.
report that his knee was bothering him after the Auburn game.
yeah.
There's probably some of that, and I'm gonna guess that you're in the SEC, and
Yeah.
that's a hell of a lot different than the defenses you faced at Washington State.
Yeah.
So you've got to be more decisive about what you want to do, because as a quarterback on a draw, if you look back, it'd be interesting to look at the entire body of work. But I bet at Washington State, quite a few of his scrambles, not scrambles, quarterback draws went for big yardage.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're not looking for you to get 40 yards here.
No.
We want 4.
Go
Yeah.
win the down.
Just go win the down.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it doesn't
And
have
do
to
it do it
be
in the correct way where it's I mean, if it's third
positive yardage.
third and
works.
4 and you have a chance to dive forward, don't be doing something stupid. And oh man, we
He
gotta
was
come up with a
on
nickname.
DJ.
Guys,
So,
Sleepy J,
He's Jay talking.
so
just like a president. back in
one
the
more
day,
point of
Sleepy J.
criticism: open field tackling. Um,
What's
it-
RSJ doing? I feel like he's regressed this season.
And we
I
have
think
a
he's
stat.
tackling high. He's
That-
tackling the
yeah.
waist. He doesn't see where he needs to attack a guy.
And I feel like he's overrun a couple too.
Uh-huh.
Or we
He
talked
can-
about that's been better.
But he also looks like he's
Feels
behind.
like he's doing it.
Looks like he's behind as well. Like
Yeah.
he just looks like he's not seeing it when he needs to see it.
Even when he's in front of the guy,
Yeah.
he's behind because he's 2 steps away,
Yeah.
and he needs to have closed some distance.
And there were some what were they on third down conversion, like 3 of 16 or
3 of
something?
15.
Yeah,
But-
they were 3 of 15. We
But
were
I
8 of
I feel like
16.
they could have been 2 less if RSJ makes a tackle.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, and I mean, you had a couple of weird ones, and ironically enough, RSJ leads the team in tackling today.
Yeah.
Which Lucas, you brought up a good point for the pod. That just means he's getting past our second level of defense.
Yeah.
There was just a couple of weird. I mean, open field tackling on screens or on dump offs in the flat, just as checkdowns. We're not breaking down as fast as we should. We've seen that quite a bit, I feel like, in the last couple of weeks. Hasn't been awful, but I mean, it could be better. And then you have kind of weird ones where you just kind of get guys. I mean, I feel like getting caught ball watching. I mean, Kobe McKenzie on one of those on that 4th down that Sellers or third and long that Sellers converts. Kobe McKenzie's just kind of sitting there waiting for him to make a vertical move before he goes and attacks him. Where if he goes a second and a half sooner, it's not a first down. So I don't know. It's just weird in the flat.
Today when Reggie Powers was playing the cheetah kind of because I think Kendall Daniels needed a rest
Mhm.
and Dolby's not, Dolby's been playing corner, but he also supplements Daniels at cheetah. And with Dolby being out, I feel like maybe this week they worked on Powers coming up and
Mhm.
playing the cheetah. So there's some of those plays that it might have been Dolby replacing Kendall Daniels just rest wise, and then Powers would have played the RSJ spot a couple
Right.
more times with Bowen. But necessity today maybe made it to where he had to come in and play some cheetah.
Yeah, I think so. And the necessity will be
Good ball.
interesting as we look
Yeah,
forward with any word on Gentry Williams.
Said he was in a sling.
and it's like, is it the same shoulder that he had surgery on? I don't
It's
know.
his left shoulder. I mean, again, I feel for the guy. That's just a guy at this point you can't rely on because he can't stay
Well,
healthy.
thankfully, Guillory got all that work while Eli Bowen was out at the earlier in the season. So now you got
Was Eli in there a lot today?
Yeah, I think so.
Was he? Because when we were
Yeah,
playing,
Eli and Guillory, and then you had
Jordan
Johnson came in.
yeah, Johnson and Jordan
Yep.
playing, and again, I think they're on separate sides. But
Already got a good amount of playing time.
Yeah, Hardy came in at safety quite a
yeah,
bit.
Hardy
so
came, our safety rotation's kind of crazy, honestly. But
if RSJ was past RSJ,
we need Dolby to be healthy.
Yeah.
I feel like
We
with,
really-
with Gentry hurt, we need
Yeah.
Dolby to be able to come in and
Yeah.
play
Yeah,
corner when
we
need that.
definitely do. That's a tough blow. It's tough to have a guy who's just, I mean, is he is he an Anderson? Is he Anderson by marriage?
I don't
Like,
know.
what's going on?
It's kind of worse though, honestly.
Yeah, it
Like,
is.
I mean, he hasn't had a full productive season. I think, I mean, if that kid could go and get a full season of work in, a full body of work,
Is he a
he's
senior?
a really good talent.
no, I don't think so.
He's a
He's
junior.
got another year.
He's a junior. He was on that.
He might have redshirted.
If he can get,
year.
yeah, if
team
he can
for
get a
TV.
full body of work, I think that he is
He's legit.
very draftable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He can get a good paycheck.
get off the board.
It's really unfortunate to see a guy who with that much talent and ability. And
Well, is he the one who made that tackle on that long run? He
is
was
he,
one of the guys chasing him down, but I'm
is
not
he
sure.
giving
if he's
up
the
his
one that-
body
I
too
can't
much?
remember.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. He's just. I mean, at that point, you're just chasing someone down from behind. Like, what do you?
How do you get hurt?
How do you? Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
I don't know.
redshirt junior. So I mean, yeah, he's got another
Yeah.
year if he. I mean, he's gonna need it.
Well, he could also get a medical hardship for last year.
I think that ship has sailed.
But he may transfer though,
Well,
because
no,
he's
if
not going
if
to
he
start next
redshirted,
year.
he could still use.
you don't think he'll start with Eli?
With Eli, Jordan, and Guillory, I don't
I
know.
don't know.
That's
I mean,
true.
he's going to want to go somewhere and play right off the bat and be.
Well,
be
And so
guy.
if I were him, I don't know, this is tough. I could see his agent kind of going back and forth on this, but you might want to go to the Big 12 or somewhere else
Yeah.
where you get a lot of experience, but you're not going up against week after week after week of just brutality.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier, Jay was talking about how the SEC is just at a different level, and it just is.
It
Who
is.
was talking
I mean,
about
this guy named Jay,
Oh.
he comes and goes, he
Yeah.
fades in and out.
it? Yeah.
So he was saying, and I'm going to try to echo his thoughts, that if you look at the SEC from top to bottom, the top is really strong, and there's not a bottom.
No,
It's just strength.
right.
I mean,
Including Kentucky
it
Or
is, and
or Arkansas.
and those are two teams with talent and ability. Like if
Yeah.
you were to look
You
at
catch them on the wrong day, you might get
exactly,
beat.
Yes.
they're like one of those teams that you schedule that's an FCS or
Kentucky
a lower
beat Ole Miss last
FBS
year.
that you're like, what are you talking about? It's like, no, Troy has athletes.
Right.
Well, this is Troy on steroids.
Right.
This is so much better than that. And then you go from there to the middle of the pack in the SEC, and it is a brutal lineup. And of course, we're going into the meat of it. So let's transition a little bit and talk about that. We got Ole Miss coming up at home. We got a
11
bright
a.m.
and early 11 a.m. kickoff, which might as well be, that would be equivalent to
Homecoming, right?
being an 8 a.m. kickoff on a work day. Homecoming. So homecoming parade is going to be literally at 8 a.m.
I mean, we're watching the Ole Miss game right now. It's high octane.
They're winning, right?
high octane
28-26
offense.
against Georgia.
Yeah.
They just scored again.
And
They
it-
just scored again.
And it's
What?
35.
A
35,
touchdown or a
yeah.
field goal? There's many versions of scoring there, Nolan.
Touchdown.
Which one is it? Do they get the extra point or do they go for two? So
But-
35-26.
And
Ole
then we're
Miss.
still in the third quarter. It's a track meet. So
SEC defenses.
I don't know if we've seen an offense quite like Ole Miss. I don't think we have. I don't know if Ole Miss has seen a defense quite like ours.
I don't think
Well, I
they
mean,
have.
they barely beat Washington State last week,
Barely beat.
but they were probably looking ahead of Georgia.
Yeah, and again, so exactly. I'm nervous as heck.
I mean, they may put it all on the line today in this game and have nothing left over for
Yeah,
the
this is a
It's gonna be
great.
a lot of film.
We're catching them on a great,
Yeah.
great.
because we're coming off riding a
Rotation.
high, going on the road and winning an SEC game that you really didn't have to sacrifice too much as far as your players go. And then you get to come home. It is a stupid 11 o'clock game. I bet Brent likes 11
I bet
game
for this game, I bet he likes 11
because he seems like the kind of guy that wakes up just
Ready
crazy.
to go.
So he doesn't want to just have our guys.
Do you
sitting
think
around
he's
until
pasting at
2:30.
5 a.m.?
Oh, I'm sure he is.
It is snowing.
I'm sure he's on the treadmill at 5:30 getting his
He's already
3
bench
mile
pressed
run in or
350 pounds.
Yeah.
But
So
Stick to you.
I mean, I actually don't mind the 11 o'clock, except it sucks at his homecoming.
it sucks for a fan. It's not bad probably for the team.
Yeah.
If you remember, not to act like this means a whole lot, but we had a lot of 11 a.m. rainy kickoffs in 2000, and we just ate those things alive.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So and Bob Stoops used to say, there's something about just getting out and playing.
Yeah.
And I agree.
You
I
don't
get
give yourself
that.
time to think about it and stew all morning.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
like, let's go do this thing. And it is middle of the day for, in reality. So if you time it right, I can also see the standpoint of if you're trying to get guys to go to bed before a 6:30 kick or primetime kick, it's probably tough.
Yeah.
But if you tell them, hey, we're gonna need to go to bed because wake up time is this and we got to get cooking, they probably see the reality of that.
Yeah.
And so as a discipline standpoint, an organization standpoint, it probably works out to be an 11 a.m. if you play it right. The thing that is negative is that it's difficult for the fans to be up. The way it's talked about is you need to get the fans lathered up a little bit. There's probably some truth to that. I think we'll come out nice and loud. There's a difference between an 11 a.m. kickoff on September 3rd and 11 a.m. kickoff in the middle of October.
Well, there's
So-
a chance. I mean, a small chance. I don't think it'll happen. I think you'll find a different matchup, but small chance game day will be there. I mean, it's arguably
Yeah, what is the
best matchup.
what is the
You've
competitive?
You've got Missouri Vandy next week,
Okay,
which they've been to Missouri recently.
right.
They were at Vandy. Did someone say last week?
Is this at Vandy or at
It's at
Missouri?
Vandy, I believe. I don't know if they've been to Vandy this year.
They were at Alabama last week, weren't they?
Yeah, that was Alabama Bandy in Alabama, right?
No, that went last week.
It's 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
They were at Eugene last week. So you might see them go to Vandy next week because they haven't been to Nashville yet
Because they won.
because they won. And this is if Missouri
Basically.
wins today.
So maybe if Missouri loses,
Who's
they're
Missouri play today? I've locked them.
A&M?
playing?
They playing A&M?
no.
No.
As you're pulling that up, let's pull up the forecast and just see what it looks
I
like.
bet it's gonna be
Because I've got something to tell you guys.
HOT.
So right now with
Auburn.
Auburn,
That's
right?
right.
All right, there you
Not
go.
that Auburn. So I
They're
mean,
getting
Auburn's,
points at Auburn. Wasn't it like 1.5 or something?
no, I think they're giving 1.5, I
Okay.
believe.
So right now there is a moderate small chance of rain throughout Friday. And I'm just saying that because we know how much a forecast can change in 7 days.
Yeah.
Small chance of rain in the AM overnight period, and then it looks like no chance of rain but overcast. So if
With a high of what?
a high of 65,
Nice.
so
Are you
that could
serious?
be really nice
On Saturday?
on
It's supposed to be
Saturday.
40 tonight here.
If it's 65 on Saturday, man, that's you're probably getting 50s for kick.
Beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
So
Remarkable.
I was thinking today, as we had thunderstorms rolling through while game day was on, what do you think the game day alternative is if they come to Norman? I have my idea of what they should do. See if you guys can come up with what you think they should do, see if it matches up.
Game day alternative in terms of like
Where they'd be.
I think they used to be North Opal again.
No. If it's raining and
I think they put
thunderstorm.
in North. Well, unless it's lightning.
It was lightning this morning.
Okay.
Where would they be?
I don't know. The
Field house. Field house would be perfect.
Yeah.
Like, I think what you do is if I'm the crew, you set up both. And if you need to go there, you go to that stage. You can fill the stands.
Yeah.
It could be an incredible environment.
Yeah.
You talk about loud. It could be totally
I've been
awesome.
there for loud volleyball games.
Yeah, it's a very loud, awesome
I don't know if
experience.
there's any better place than that.
I don't think there's any better place than that. It's right there. It's right
They're
close.
not going to set them up in the Everest and let fans go in there.
And it would be extra great because this is an 11 a.m. kickoff. Had it been a 6:30 kickoff, you could start to think about Lloyd Noble or some other things. But these fans are going to want to get into the game. So you're going to want to start and then move right away. And that's right across.
I don't think they end up here. Memphis was another good matchup.
And they probably need to
Yeah,
go to
South
a place
Florida.
like that.
Memphis, South Florida.
And South Florida
that's a
needs
big,
some
what do
love.
you call it? The AAC? What
They're AAC.
AAC?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're one of the teams out. South Florida is one of the teams that's fighting
At
for
large.
that at large
Oh,
bid.
They're the leader, right?
Yeah, and
I
I
can
might
see them being at that game
yeah, they would be the leader. I don't see them coming back to Norman.
because they didn't go to South Florida and Miami.
Not for this game.
I don't know if you I don't
They
know.
might come back for Tennessee
No.
if both of us win.
At Tennessee. They might come back for Missouri.
Oh, you're saying into Oklahoma?
Yeah, you might if Missouri keeps winning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
LSU kind of.
LSU losing that hurts.
Yeah, they heard that. Yeah.
I mean, if Missouri beats Auburn,
Yeah.
and I mean, if it gets down to it,
Well, if Missouri wins out and we win out, they're going to be an undefeated team. We'll be a one-loss team with wins against Tennessee, Alabama,
that's a
and
huge if.
And Mississippi.
Missouri lost against Bama
Yeah.
last week. I didn't watch.
Okay,
football after the
both
Tennessee
one-loss
game.
games.
I mean, at that point in the season, though,
Teams.
you're still if you get I don't know what game number that is, but if it's
That's game
if
11.
it's 8-2 or whatever
Game 11.
against 8-2, that's a big enough matchup later in the year that unless there's a giant Big Ten game,
If you get 9-1,
that's the next big game.
That's the big game.
9-1 and 9-1.
Well, in fact,
8-2, 8-2.
back to that math of what you've said, which is basically fact that we're going to be, we're going to win all the rest of our games until then. So at that point, you're looking at two teams that are really trying to get into the SEC title game.
Correct. Right.
That's a huge playoff implication game.
Fighting to play.
Everything.
And remind me what channel that's on?
What?
Is that- SEC
It's an ESPN game.
Right.
Is it the SEC network game?
No, I'm talking about the SEC championship.
Oh, okay.
So they're going to be trying to if that's a
they'll be
game, it's a
pushing.
pump it
battle.
up.
They'll be pushing.
Pump
Yeah,
it up.
that's a battle to see who's going to get
Right.
the SEC.
That's
title game.
interesting.
That's an ESPN
And a more interesting matchup
Game.
than something that's
Or
big in the
AAC.
Big Ten, but not colossal.
Yeah, because Fox will have the
Because there's
right.
nothing big in the Big Ten.
No, there's not.
Fox
There's
has
really not.
the Big Ten conference championship, but I think ABC/ESPN will have the SEC.
The
So-
last Big Ten game is going to be Ohio State, Michigan, and that's just because it's the game.
The game.
And
Michigan might have.
I don't know who.
How many losses is Michigan going to have? They won at Washington today, or at home against Washington
They got
today.
2 losses.
Do they play? They
I
don't play
know if they
Indiana.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who do they play?
And they play Penn State.
Wisconsin just had a
I
25
don't think
yard
Michigan.
take.
Oh, do they?
I think that might be that was the game.
That was it. That's a good. So Michigan could be actually in the hunt.
Well, you know who else is in the hunt is USC.
Yep.
They're a 1-loss Big Ten team right now.
Just one. From what I've seen, it's not going to be just one.
They handle Michigan better than we did.
If they win tonight, I would simmer down on that.
Calm it down.
So they play. If they beat Notre Dame today,
They're
I'll
not
give-
going to beat Big Ten Notre Dame today. However,
I don't think they will. But if they do,
Keep
I
going.
feel like they might. I'm not going to say they're the real deal. I will say they're an improved team.
well, here's the deal. If you look at from a realist point of view, OU's chances of making the playoff, you might want to root for USC against Notre Dame
Correct.
tonight.
You
Because this might be the last chance. If you look up Notre Dame's schedule for me for a
This is
second,
their last.
this is their
their-
last
this is their
chance
last
to
game.
And
lose.
that gives them a third loss.
And if they lose, they're done.
Yeah.
If they win, they're not guaranteed, but they're still in that
they're
hunt.
probably going to be there because your SEC is just beating up on each other.
Yep.
You're going to have 2 and 3 loss teams who are
Yep.
vying for position in
Yep.
that. And again, if it's a 2-loss Notre Dame versus a 2-loss SEC team, and your losses to Georgia and freaking Vandy, you're gonna get in over them. But you're gonna have some on the cusp teams who are
Yep.
fighting for that
You
spot.
don't want to be fighting Notre Dame,
No.
who's 10-2 and
And they
has
have
the
the brand.
name of
They've got
Notre
the brand.
Dame,
Yeah.
and you're 9-3 with whatever resume you've put out, even though it's going to be a really good resume. Tell me about Notre Dame's schedule.
Notre Dame hosts or goes to a 1-6 Boston College
Hey, don't count out the Jesuits.
The Eagles are good.
after next week's bye week. So they have a week to prepare.
They
for
could
that.
lose that one too.
Then they host Navy, who's
Oh.
currently 6-0, but haven't looked great. Then they go to a 4-2 Pitt.
They
Then
knocked off
host-
Florida
That's
State
a,
last
sneak-
week.
that's a sneaky game.
That is a
Yeah.
sneaky game.
Then they host
They'll win.
3-3 Syracuse, and then travel to a 2-4 Stanford.
So here's what I want to have
So
happen.
they have to lose them.
Here's what I want to happen. They beat USC by 6 touchdowns.
And they lose.
And then
Lose to
Navy and Pitt beat them. And we're done with Notre Dame.
Yeah,
That's what I want to see.
And
And
Mark-
I like Marcus Freeman
Marcus
a lot.
Freeman goes to the NFL.
I
Actually,
do like Marcus.
put that man in the
In
NFL.
the NFL. Let him go.
Let him
Notre Dame
go.
back to
Let him
mid-tier.
go. Let them go. Let Notre Dame go mid-tier. Let them realize they need to join the
rehired
SEC.
Brian Kelly.
Oh no!
He accidentally kills another
Yeah,
kid.
he kills him. No, not accidentally. It's semi-purpose.
Yeah, this would be the first accident.
Right.
That kid owed him money. So
Get up there, boy.
I
We need that video.
don't see that happening, either the murder or the rehire.
I hope
But
there's no
I
murder.
do see Notre Dame in a bit of a quandary where they have to figure out where they're going to be going forward, because what happened last year was an anomaly. And
It was.
this is going to be tough for them to establish themselves with that kind of a schedule. You get to a point of you cannot slip up. And they've already slipped up this year, and they might backdoor their way into being in the conversation. I don't think that's where you want to be as Notre Dame. I think you want to be one of the perennials who can, at 9-3 in the SEC, Notre Dame is in the playoff
Who did they lose
every
to? A&M
single
and who else?
year.
That's it
A&M
so far.
and Miami.
Notre Dame.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, 2 losses.
Two quality losses,
They are. I mean,
Yeah, they are.
not according to Louisville.
And yeah,
Louisville.
Well, that's a good
Or
point.
makes them listeners
It-
mad.
What
Louisville?
sucks though is
Louisville.
Louisville.
yeah, Smyrna.
Louisville.
Louisville.
Louisville's better.
Shut up, Louis.
So
Yes.
what sucks is it may kind of negatively reinforce their
they're biased,
desire to go
Yeah.
play certain teams.
right?
Like I'm not going to schedule an A&M and a Miami.
I think that way lies mediocrity
Yeah.
for that
But you,
program
but
and
you have
everything.
to hope that it gets recognized.
I know. I don't think it. You do.
Because
I
you
agree.
become-
They don't have to.
You become like a James Madison who doesn't play
Mm-mm.
anybody who anyone's playing,
Uh-huh.
but are an at-large bid because they have an 11 or a 12-0 schedule.
Right.
So it's like it's a brand for sure, but we've got to start calling out. And again, it just goes back to the super leagues we've been talking about for a long time. We won't go down that rabbit hole,
Make them
but
join a conference.
make them join a conference, and they can't keep falling back on.
We
Well,
gotta
we're
put the
kind of
pressure
an ad hoc ACC team. You're not. You're not.
Mhm. You're definitely not this year with this schedule.
And go play the SMUs or go play the
Who is winning? Last I looked,
Clemsons. The
SMU is beating
Clemson.
Clemson right now,
Don't
23 to
go play
17.
Boston College. Don't go play NC State. Go play the cream of the crop of the ACC.
Exactly.
Cream of the crop, which is a relative term.
Yeah, right. Give me a schedule that I can actually believe in that has credence.
Right.
Because what they've got, the resume right
'Cause
now,
the only ACC team they played, good one, is Miami, and they got beat.
I mean, when you're two quality opponents or quality losses, that's not a strong resume.
No.
Yeah.
That's really bad. And then,
The only teams you've played, you've gotten beat by.
twice now in the last, whatever the first one was, 10 years, 8 years, they've gone to the championship game and been embarrassed. Just flat out embarrassed. Alabama embarrassed them, and then last year, Ohio State. So you've got to get to a point where you actually are looking like you're a serious college football team in accordance with the fact that you're Notre Dame with the brand and everything. Play like a champion for half of the time that OU's been playing like a champion. Well, let's go back to the Sooners and close out with, we've got the meat of our schedule coming up. We've been able to say that for now several weeks.
Toughest 3-game
it-
stretch probably in college football.
It's a really
here.
tough stretch. So you come off of a tough Texas game, you come off of a tough South Carolina game, and now you're into Ole Miss, Tennessee, Alabama.
Bye week in between.
Yeah, well, you get a bye week
Right.
between.
You do
Tennessee
get a
and
bye
Alabama.
week. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
thank God.
back road games.
Yeah. Back-to-back
Didn't do
road
us any
game.
favors on that.
Very tough.
Essentially, that's 4 out of 5 games in a row that you haven't played at home. Because you got neutral
Yeah.
site Texas,
Yeah.
road South Carolina, home Ole Miss, road Tennessee, road Bama.
You trade
That's
that
really
for
over
you trade,
5 weeks.
You trade that for 2 straight home games against Mizzou and LSU, though.
No, I would have rather had Mizzou the week after the bye week, and
So
then
swap
and then
Mizzou
Bama.
and
swap Bama and Mizzou. Personally,
That would have been
I
better.
think it would have been
Yeah.
better.
That would have
I
been
agree
better.
with you.
but we all know SEC isn't doing us any favor scheduling.
Nope.
Or else we would be playing Texas schedule, and we'd still be
We'd have-
6-1.
We'd have Kentucky this week.
We we may not. I don't know. I mean, you never know. I mean, to be honest, I'm going to say that if Mateer doesn't get injured, I think we're 6-0 going into today, and we're 7-0.
Maybe.
I mean, I think the Mateer injury was the material difference in us playing Texas.
Yeah.
I think we'll look back at that and regret that game a lot. The fact that we still were the better team.
I always
Ain't got
regret losing
beat.
to Texas.
Huh?
I always regret losing to Texas.
Well, yes, but you're going to regret it even more as you look back and realize we should have won that football game.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a lot of football ahead of us. We haven't won enough to do anything except go to a bowl game. We did become bowl eligible
We're
today.
one away from hitting the over.
There you go. We're one win away from hitting the over, and we got some of us have money on that, as well as some emotional bets with a certain friend of mine who's going to have to buy me and my wife drinks at the restaurant of our choice. They're going to be very expensive cocktails. I'm excited. I think we've got a lot in front of us that we have the opportunity to succeed, but I'm not going to take anything for granted. I'm back to where we were with the Texas loss to say we've got to continue what we saw today, less of what we saw, not just against Texas, but the other teams, in order for us to get to a point where we want to be, which is compete for the SEC title, get into the playoffs.
This will show us where we are in the pecking order of the SEC these next 3 games.
Oh,
I mean,
it's everything.
As much as it sucks, because it does suck a lot to have to go through this gauntlet of 3 or 4 games. Really, the rest of our schedule. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. But it will show our true colors as an SEC team. Are we a middle of the pack? Because we're definitely above the lower end of the SEC at this point. I think we can all agree on that, even the realist. But are we that upper tier, or are we in the middle of the pack?
And I don't know at this
We
point.
none of us know.
Yep.
And it's gonna these next
I'm not
3 or 4
confident to say
weeks,
yes or no.
3 or
That-
5 weeks or 6 weeks are gonna tell everything. I'm excited, but I'm also nervous. I mean, watching Ole Miss scares the hell out of me right now.
Yeah,
But what is Georgia? We don't really know what Georgia is.
And I've said
defense is better than Georgia.
I think our defense is better in Georgia. I don't think Georgia's as good as the name of Georgia has been
I agree.
over the last few years.
I agree.
Well, thank you to Tobacco Exchange. If I remember, I'm going to have this question for our audience, for our listeners. Let me ask you guys: at what point in the next, and this is the final thing, we'll sign off. What is the game in which we will know if OU is or is not a playoff team?
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
I'm going to say Tennessee because that seems to be the correct
Go into
popular
that,
answer.
if you can go in that environment with that quality of a team right now and get a win. I don't know what we do next week against Ole Miss, but if you can go into Neyland and get a win on Halloween weekend with that crowd,
And they're all gonna be wearing orange.
If
you are a playoff team.
If you beat Ole Miss, if you beat Tennessee, you pretty much all but punch your ticket.
You got to win one more game.
You
after that.
have to win one more game, but you've won those 2,
Mhm.
which gives me a lot of confidence. We're going to win one of the 2 against
The
Missouri
only
and
bad thing
LSU.
is those are 2. Let's say you win one of those last 3, and you are 9-3. You have 2 very late losses against good teams who are also probably going to be vying for a spot.
That's the one thing that could really thwart us.
we didn't lose early.
Which
you
will
lost late.
suck.
You lost late against teams that are going to be right there
Now-
as well, probably.
Yeah, when you're doing resume comparisons, you say, well, Missouri beat them, or I don't think LSU's going to be a 9-3 team.
Uh-uh.
I don't at this point.
So
I don't
that
think their
becomes a
offense is
must
gonna
win then in that case,
yeah,
probably.
that becomes a must.
That is a must win at this point.
To get to the
To
playoffs.
see
South
what we
Carolina,
saw
LSU
today,
were must
and when
wins.
you get that game at home, you've got to win that game.
A lot of
Right.
narratives here.
But if you end up if you lose 3 in a row and finish winning Missouri and LSU, then you're out.
If you
I think
beat
you're
Ole
probably
Miss
right.
and split 2-2 in your last 4,
It's tough.
man,
It's tough.
It's
you're gonna be
gonna
the
come
last
out
one
other
in, or
teams.
you're gonna
Yeah,
be
it'll depend on the other
first
team.
one out.
It'll depend on the Notre Dame. It'll depend on the Big Ten.
Yeah.
It'll depend on the ACC somewhat.
So
Big-
we're
big-
we all for USC tonight. That sucks.
Hey, I'm not. I'm still rooting for what I said before.
We're rooting
So,
for Boston
A
College.
lot of things have to happen. There's a lot of narratives there.
We're rooting for Pitt. That's our saving grace.
There's a lot of what could happen, and of course, there's stuff that's unforeseen. I don't know. It's exciting though, and I like the positioning we're in.
We're in the mix.
We're in the mix.
I'm gonna fire up another cigar and watch football the rest of the night.
So I'm excited. Thank you to Tobacco Exchange again for all that they do. I'm going to fire up another Tobacco Exchange cigar. I think that Brent is off the hot seat, and
for now.
but this was a big must win. We called it a must win, and he won it in stylish fashion.
Yep.
So hats off to the team. I'm real excited. We'll be back for a midweek pod leading into Ole Miss. But until then, Boomer.
Sooner.